Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hand of Fate 2. Inscribed is the name of the game I want to mention first and foremost as a more modern twist on a game very similar to this that I haven't actually played but I think actually does this game a little bit better. I've mentioned that game without remembering its name up until this point. We're potentially on the last one we could actually do the last missions, although there is a decent argument to go back and retry some of the other missions one more time. This is a long series, but there is kind of a high level here of just not seeing the credits, and it certainly explains why the credits now are just hidden in the menu like this, or shown in the menu, not really hidden. So in this encounter, we've got some new cards we want to check out, but otherwise it seems like we will be a servant to what looks like a vampire type character. You're going to need a lot of max health, a lot of health, and a lot of food. And they want you to do finisher or knockdown attacks. So I've tried to pick some new cards on top of just some cards that might actually help in that way. And then I'm going to go with healing spirits, extra food, and extra max life. Now notice here you don't have a companion in this story. And I think this is the DLC.
You know how little I approve of the ways the world has changed since my defeat. Let us dig into the darkness and see if any of the old ways remain.
I kind of wonder...
When strength is lost, negotiation remains. Yet will you deal in life itself? The usurper once did, but at least he was rewarded for his sacrifice.
I kind of wonder here if we're going to get a special companion by doing this story. I think we are, for a fact, so we'll probably get a companion in the middle of the story, or very early in the story. The dungeon, the prison door shuts behind you with a clang. Another day fighting in the pit, followed by another night in the dirty cell. Wonder how long you will be here. Wonder how long you will survive. As you pick yourself up from the dirt, something stirs in the shadows. The stranger. I wonder if he is a shadow creature and maybe he introduces the idea of shadows creatures in totality. And maybe we only fight shadow creatures in this servant scenario. It sinks forward, its eyes glowing yellow in the darkness. You glimpse long limbs and cold gray skin as a talon reaches toward you. You scuttle back until a stone wall stops your retreat, or a fine voice rings out. Oh dears, it appears we've both made an error in underestimating the goblins, and here I stand dressed in rags and barely fit for company. Voice seems out of place coming from such a fearsome visage, but sure enough the rags draping the creature were once noble garments. Take a moment to steady yourself. You have work to do, but I understand it'll take you a moment to ready yourself. I want what you want, obviously. We need to escape, and there's only way that's going to happen: blood. Yours first, theirs second. So this is some kind of, I assume, vampire creature. Blood, question mark? The creature pushes a wooden bowl filled with gruel in your direction. In my fullness I would leave here in an instant, but this is all they have fed me. It lacks any life, any strength, any power. Now you are here, beaten, but still vital. Together we can gain our freedom. He eyes you hungrily. So we accept the deal and lose 25 life, or we refuse and wait. Which I assume refusing and wait would be dumb. The stranger is upon you almost before the words are out of your mouth, teeth sinking into your flesh. as his arms envelop you, keeping you still. A breathless moment passes and then another, too much. You struggle and you can feel the creature becoming stronger. As each moment passes, with limbs like iron, he releases you, gasping. There's a wild look in his eyes as he rises to his full height, incandescent in the gloom. He grins at you toothily. The pact is sealed. You should know. We of the lice never break agreements once made. You made a deal with the stranger. You hear the goblin guards approaching the prison door, so I guess those are goblin guards figurines. It definitely feels like there should have been a lot more figurine type elements in this game, and that for every 3D model that they made in the fighting section, there should have been a way to convert those 3D models into an interesting pose and then just desaturate the 3D models down to a single color, whether it would have been silver or gold. I guess it would have been silver. And then, but they just don't do that. That's weird. It's weird that it is that way when it seems like that would have been pretty easy. Anyways, you hear the goblin guards approaching the prison door. With a flourish, the creatures toss his cloak to the floor.
I turn my eyes around in my mind, time on time. I know where I failed, and where you must not.
Where it falls, it turns into a pool of liquid midnight. The shadows churn, filling the room with darkness, drawing in the light and leaving utter blackness in their wake. Interesting, the entire map has changed now. The goblin chatter slows to a slur and deepens. You hear the key grate against the chamber lock, turning with a snap. The door creaks open, slow as a spoon through honey. The beast turns to you. Do not dally, he insists. Embrace the twilight. Then you are moving like a shadow reaching out as the sun sets over the horizon. Out of the cell, past the guards, through the caravans, and toward the light.
Here in the light, you are once more at risk.
There you meet the sweet scent of fresh air and the warmth of the setting sun. And as quickly as it's begun, the oblivion of shadow and darkness is gone. It's way too much
to
text.
take a breath, perhaps, and to learn of the strange company you keep.
Yeah. There's got to be a better way to have those events explained quicker. The right way would, of course, have the narrator narrate all of that. As the last warm rays of sunlight sink below the tree line, you take a moment to rejoice. After weeks of fighting in the pit, you are finally free. Okay. So we took 25 damage, but that doesn't seem like we still have 25 damage. We could cook food to restore 5 health. Or we could use our artifact, which we don't really need to do. So let's just talk to a stranger. Eager to part ways with your bloodthirsty acquaintance, you wait for the right moment to take your leave. You nervously thank the stranger for his assistance in your escape and wish him good fortune on his journey. Done? ? We are not close to done. I said I would free you from those goblins, and they will pursue you until the ends of the earth. You said you would heal my hunger, and I am not close to satiated. Or sated, I guess is what that is. Do not err. From here our paths are bound together until death or completion. Sate your companion's hunger to settle your debt. 25 of 500 life given. Okay. Relinquish your life to me, the beast growls. Indulge his appetite for 25 life.
Your own life slips away.
Flame flickers across the beast's menacing grin. Now, in other kinds of games, I might consider that going really low here might be the right move. But in this game, I suspect that's not the case. The beast frowns at you. Notice I seek counsel with my uncle. I must inform him of my brother's treachery. He points to the night sky. A slender crescent moon can be made out between the trees. The blood moon. We must reach him before the blood moon. But he is far, far from this place, and we can only reach him through the lice. And I need power for that. Ask why he needs to be there by the blood moon. The beast gives you a withering look. Make your final preparations, he continues. We can wait here no longer. Okay. So, go ahead and just use that. And that. That's only giving me 10 back. I thought it would have given me a little bit more. And let's see. Let's go to 75 and then just leave it at that. And then I think we want to break camp at this point. Do not disappoint me, he says, turning his back to you with a flick of his cloak. Feed your companion fully before the blood moon to win the gold token. Okay. So we could go back to the forest on the left, or we just go and fight the goblins on the right. And I feel like fighting the goblins on the right is a mistake. But if we go to the left, we're going to be fighting those goblins anyway, so seems like we don't have really much of a choice.
Caution, care, and tact will keep you safe. Your lack thereof has got you into trouble.
You feel the shadow beast's claws clamp onto your shoulder. Fool, he hisses. We can avoid these goblins if we travel through the Lysa Hora through shadow. Travel by shadow to avoid goblin patrols. Talk to Valis at the campfire. Interesting. If we travel through the lice, we should avoid these goblins. So now we have a shadow realm that we couldn't do before. Feels very Yu-Gi-Oh!
It appears your companion has ways of avoiding even those who follow. But at what cost?
Valis, I cannot keep us both in the lice for long. You slip through the veil into cold oblivion. The colors of the forest become muted and your vision swims. You cannot be sure if you are in a dream or not. You can pass through goblin patrols. You'll skip the next encounter. Okay. Then I think we want to go this direction.
Feed your companion however you please, yet you may find the blood of others more efficient.
Your desperate trek away from the terrors of the goblin fighting pits is interrupted when the path leads you to an armed band concealed in the forest. Now, as far as weapons go, this is a weapon that I don't think has any real knockdown ability, and we really don't have anything else. So you watch from your hidden vantage point as the group confronts a wandering peasant. They let the man pass after carefully inspecting his face and his meager possessions. They are here for us, Valis mutters intently. Word of our escape has preceded us. An offer of coin no doubt spurred many into action. We could go the long way around to approach them from the north instead, Valis suggests. It would take several hours, but it could give us the opportunity to take them by surprise. My kind are most effective at surprise attacks. Wait until night and ambush them. Sounds like a good plan, and we have the food for it, so let's do that. After hours of backtracking, you return to the clearing, this time approaching from a more favorable angle. A few of the bandits huddle around a small campfire, while others wait in the darkness, watching the trail. The job's a fool's errand out, one of the sentries says. I don't trust the little freaks to pay us, even if we do catch them. It's easy money if we can find them, the other responds. Relax. We'll be out of these woods before winter sets in. This is again just way too much dialogue. You prepare to charge them. So I assume if I get a successful card that would have eliminated one of the enemies. But since I failed,
your artifact is
I'm just
empty
gonna
now
fight them
and will
all.
be of little use to you here.
I suspect we are unlikely to find anything that would recharge our artifact. But if I had exploding doodads, that would recharge it as an event card. So, not really a traditional vampire looking character, not humanoid per se. His ears feel like they're just clipping through the cloak that he wears. Lord Velis, a nightmare from Fables. When activated, Velis performs a series of powerful strikes against multiple targets. Stay close to charge his ability faster.
Well then, challenge accepted. This ends now.
We want knockdown. Not really getting that.
Appreciate it.
Which our weapon did seem to not indicate that it had knockdown, so no surprising I guess it isn't knocking down people. And then that enemy's weapon clipped right through the chest of him. Quickly, mortal, do not delay his sinning further by pawing over the meager possessions of the dead underlings. Their blood runs cold, and they are of no further use.
Some weapons, this one included, require a great hero to carry them.
Find a folded parchment in one of the fallen. It provides a written description of you and your companion and a bounty offering for your return to the pit. Okay, so we want to go either north or east. I think east makes more sense.
Press on if you will, but attend to your companion's appetites lest he forget himself.
We move on. A half moon stands high in the night sky as you make your way through the pass. Time moves ever on. Do not disappoint me. And so now we have a much larger group of cards and events. The stranger stops abruptly and stands tall. Prepare yourself, servant. My kin lie ahead.
Brother against brother. Ally against ally.
Shadow feud. And so for the first time we're actually going to fight some shadows. You and your companion are surrounded by a group of cloaked shadow beasts. Lord Velis, stay by. We have been sent to return you to the goblin pits. The companion growls. I may no longer be the master of House Lashar, but you will step aside. Pirun has deceived us all. The members of House Lashar exchange looks, amusement, and concern. Velis talons elongate. So be it. Shadows can counterattack light weapons are recommended. You can change equipment at the inventory. Do we have something that would be helpful? I guess this is the move. Would any of these others have had any knockdown effects. And I guess we could have always looked at the enemies in these cases. So we're at the half moon now, so you really, I think, have only 2 or 3 levels that you can go through. So you're gonna have to give a lot of blood to your companion. I'm not sure max life is actually that helpful in this case.
House Lasher or no, none will stand in my way.
I'm not really seeing the shadow creatures.
Ever dutiful.
I feel like what the problem here is we probably have one of these shadows is our companion and then the other is our enemy, and they don't look particularly any different because they're just covered in this cloak that seems to be not unique. Bells contemplates the ash drifting through the cold night air, the fallen members of his house slain by his own hand. It appears my brother's lies run deep. I must reach my uncle soon, Bellis mutters to himself. Feed your companion fully before the blood moon to win the golden token. As day breaks, you continue your journey. So we need to camp. And so then...
For what? What is it you sustain with your own self?
We'll get him up to 150, I guess. And then enter the shadow
Is something
realm.
essential lost each time you step out of our world and into the shadows?
You continue your escape through the brooding forest. You wonder if it is good fate or poor that nothing eventful occurs. I want to look at the map here. Yeah, these are all goblin statues. There's not anything different. They kind of have a goldish silver hue to them, depending on whether they're being reflective or not. And I guess we'll be down to just our own decision whether we can get to that spot or that spot. Odds are that spot is where we want to go.
Do you insist on doing this the hard way, or are you simply clumsy?
Your mind rolls as you try to fight off the memories of your time in captivity, your time you spent surviving the goblin pits. The stamping of goblin feet, the chants, the laughter. You try to push the fragments from your thoughts, but they do not relent. So, a terror of blight and 7 skulls. Weirdly not fighting goblins in a goblin encounter. See, what's kind of annoying here, I think we will find, is that we may very well I'm about to die. Yep. So we're gonna have to start all over again, and we're
An end to your life and to your struggle.
not running into a lot of events in that run. So attempt number 2. is there anything we really want to change? No, because we really weren't in the event well enough to even know how that was supposed to go. So it's just going to be skipping through a lot of dialogue now.
Good can come out of an ill-considered negotiation.
And if this mission, this DLC mission, is all about getting from point A to point B, then knowing where to go might be very helpful.
Strange
I should
that you
have
were so easily
said
captured, but so easily freed once more, is it not?
Let's see. We're gonna just like temper his appetite this time. And then we're gonna enter the shadow realm.
Once more into the shadows. Move quickly now.
Just try and play through all of this.
Why
fairly
give your
quickly.
own blood when the blood of others is so abundant?
Let's see what happens if we just attack them now. Instead. This still very much feels just like any other mission, and in this case it doesn't feel like anything is carrying over.
This will only end better.
So that looks like a finisher. That went very, very poorly that time. So we probably need something that would help us on card gambits. By attacking them this time, though, we did manage to... Well, this might actually help us quite a bit. Knockdown bomb. With 5 uses. Let's try that.
Make your choices carefully. Hunger can be a terrible mistress. Ponder this. Your companion has made enemies of his own, yet you stand by his side.
So yeah, we don't want to die in these fights, and so this may be a mission that is way more about that was probably a terrible example of where you should have used. Yeah, I'm just not running into any encounters that are special here. We need to play differently here.
Combat solves so little. It has ended this, however.
Like, we're not learning any... I didn't learn anything from that. Alright, so let's try again. One more time. Let's see. There's just so much here that's redundant. Even trying to skip everything. Let's see what happens when we refuse and wait. Then we wait. I'm sure time will come for us and we'll see what fate awaits. Attempt to escape. And in attempting to escape,
once more
just
you're
move here.
foolish enough to walk straight into the foes who seek you.
So it almost seems like there is some possibility here where you could attempt to escape without making a deal. This will give you a goblin chanter. They channel strange magic innate to goblins through makeshift hats and staves of bones. Goblin chanters cast magical spells from distance. Use evade to avoid that. I have 13 seconds here where I have to somehow escape. So that seems like that is very much intentional that you're supposed to fail there.
Without an ally, you will never escape.
You overrun the goblins, unceremoniously toss you back in the cell. And this time, you call that an escape. How fortunate that I am so patient and so gracious. Now grant me what I desire.
As the shadows fade, watch closely. You are being followed.
So yeah, there's no reason to go the other direction.
With your companion's aid, you should be able to avoid these patrols.
I guess you just take your chances here on the card draws. Well, that makes that a much easier fight. And I gave 20 life to our companion. So that may be the way you actually get most of your blood to Velas, is that you're gonna just need the card draws, the card gambits to work in your favor.
A fight it will be.
Killing them quickly doesn't seem like that would draw more blood, or doing a lot of overkill damage more than would need to kill them doesn't seem like it gives you any extra blood. We did get more food that time.
He's a hunter in truth, it seems.
Pause for a moment on the trail to consider the surrounding forest. Game seems plentiful. You notice a few mushrooms and can hear the stream not far off. Now would be a good time to replenish your supplies. Let's see. Hunt wild animals sounds like a smart move. Oh, this
The
is
pendulum
gonna be
is ever changing, and the
difficult.
challenges it presents change too.
The beasts of the wood are too dexterous for you to catch this day. You end up the hunt having caught nothing. Let's not use that again. So it doesn't seem like there's any random encounters in this first section at all. If there is, it's at the very bottom there, which you really can't run into. If this mission is really all about fighting, though, I mean, I nearly rage quit this game at the very beginning due to its high level of difficulty, and the only thing that saved me from rage quitting was the fact that it suggested a easy mode, which we have been playing since the beginning on that easy mode. So if even on easy mode it's still too difficult to survive these fights, that's going to be a problem. And certainly I don't love the idea of having to go to camp mode over and over again. So he's going to go forward in that direction. The only other thing I could do is go downward here.
It is a wonder that a creature of such pride deigns to serve you.
So now we can do fishing.
I'm not a vain man. You must appreciate that this game, has been my focus for more years than I can count.
I don't know why he says that one line of dialogue. It's like that's the only line of dialogue that he can say at random, or I've just not unlocked any other possible dialogue. And see, if I was getting some kind of reward for getting to maybe like 250 even, that would tell me something. He's gonna move here. He's gonna move here. They all move even when I move to a place I've already encountered. A tremendous flash of light heralds the arrival of an immense creature hovering overhead. Your mind reels at its enormity. Its presence alone is enough to bend and warp the trees around you, drawing the branches upward through some unseen force. The creature peers down at you expectingly. Your intriguing sword begins to vibrate, drifting up toward the great creature. Well, I assume we're trying to succeed here. You can't really roll these dice to fail, because you can't re-roll once you've accomplished the goal. You keep a firm grasp on your intriguing sword. Let's see. I'm here of a mission of dire need. I beg you for a donation to the war effort. Ask the creature what the creature is. This is a question not easily answered. Suffice to say, I have traveled a great distance. I am gathering weapons and armor to aid my masters in their war. Anything you can spare will be greatly appreciated. Once we are victorious, I will return with rewards far greater than which has been sacrificed. Weirdly, we can't ask about the war. Alright, let's offer to equipment, because we can give you this And we can give you this, and that's not even a big deal. Your generosity to the cause will not be forgotten. When our war is won, I will return with a worthy reward. The dealer adds an encounter card to the deck, which means it's probably not going to be on the field in this level. Let's forage for mushrooms and see how that works. I assume we're looking for yellow mushrooms for gold. Yellow mushrooms just gave us food. Interesting. So I'm not sure what red mushrooms would have done. It kind of makes some sense, I think, though, to probably do something like that. That way we're never just at full health, in case we run into something that would be at full health. Let's see, helpful priest. Give the priest half your food and get a blessing. Would a blessing even really help us here? This is a massive amount of food to give away. Whenever you draw 2 consecutive gain cards at the same time, gain +5 life. Cannot be used at the camp. Well, that seems like that's something that would be somewhat helpful. Notice you're not trading in this.
Here in the light, you are once more at risk.
Your desperate trek away from the terrors of the goblin fighting pits is interrupted one night on the path that leads to an armed band lurking in the darkness. You watch from your hidden vantage point as the group confronts a wandering peasant. We've already read all of this. Wait for the morning. I'd want to get the trappers eliminated. But, okay. It's not too bad. So it definitely is the second level where you start to have an actual chance. If you're not getting deep into the second level, you're pretty doomed.
Now, I feed.
It's weird that when you get trapped, you break out with this green effect. When it definitely feels like there should be just a more generic breaking effect. The green gives the feeling like you're getting poisoned or you're exploding in a poisonous gas. So that gives us +5 health. And let's give Bitter Winter. You know, we probably are going to get to Shard when we have the encounter harvest. Yeah, that's how you get to Shard. And the problem here is I'm going to start starving to death. I managed to spend all of the food.
Companion hungers still.
The waxing moon lights the way as you continue through the pass. I still hunger, mortal. Do not forget our wager. The blood moon will soon be upon us. I dislike being disappointed. We're at the waxing moon. The shadow beast eyes snap to the trees ahead.
The night darkens,
You and
many
your
stand
companion
yet
are
in your
surrounded by
path.
a group of cloaked shadow beasts. Lord Velis, they bow. We've been here to return you to the goblin pits. The companion growls. Same dialogue as before. We have light weapons equipped. So again, we're gonna fight. And we're at really good health, but really poor food. So we're hoping we get food after this fight. But as fast as we are getting through this whole section, and see, it seems like you can just always heal your companion for no real price. I don't know if that is perhaps because I'm playing on easy mode or not. But yeah, every time I succeed in one of these fights, it feels like it's either by the skin of my teeth or just through dumb luck. Moon crept almost to completion, bathing the bodies of Halfless Shaw and the two cold. Light, your companion gained plus 10 life from knocked down enemies. You gain 2 fame. Yeah, really the only way you're going to succeed in this scenario is if you start at the very, very beginning with a knockdown weapon. I must reach my uncle soon. Velis mutters to himself. Feed your companion fully before the blood moon occurs. As day breaks, you continue your journey. And we can't do anything with the camping, so we're just hoping we run into something helpful. And that time it didn't consume my food, it just starved me. And we failed. So this could be the end for us. And unfortunately, I feel like this is just going to be a case where we're going to have to play this scenario multiple times to see. Yep, that's the end of me.
Now death comes to you. This story ends here.
We got no rewards for that. But we at least got deep enough into it where I think we can reconsider. Well, let's just, first of all, just go with recommended. Clear and fill the recommended. And let's see what I think would be helpful. See, it's funny, they're throwing in here something that would potentially end up in combat. Throwing something in here that potentially would end up with us losing food. I don't know why they're picking that. They're throwing in equipment choices quite a bit here. Honestly, I'm not sure I 100% agree with all those decisions. Yeah. I think we could take out something like that. Take something like that out in favor of some of these newer cards. I assume they know what these cards are when they're recommending them. So I'm not fully willing to follow down the path of what they're suggesting. Do we have any other new cards on the equipment side? Because we're probably not even going to get equipment. There is an argument to be made. Well, we want to know what the Silver Man is. But logically, it would probably be wiser to take Elder's Gift and use that. I think that is totally wrong on those choices. That almost certainly is the right move. Okay. So we are still in this weird situation where we kind of need to do the servant to potentially open up a path that we would have enough companions to do the devil, to then potentially do enough missions to unlock the moon and the remaining challenges. Otherwise, it's just going to be a weird situation where maybe I just need to replay each of the silver missions also. And that just seems like a lot of time commitment, frankly. We could probably do it. We could probably get High Priestess in gold, and that might unlock some card that then might make strength feel a little bit more doable. We also should look at Enlist after doing the servant, but yeah, we are in this weird position where we're just getting boxed in more and more with every episode, and that there's just less and less chance of us actually making it any further. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and keep on watching. Thanks.